La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, our dear viewers, and welcome to another episode on the journey to Islam, coming to you from MT International Gambia Studios. And we are here today in the Masakunko area, and we are here to speak to people who have joined the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat and what story they have to share with us. We are here in the program today with brother Musa Sabally, who is a native of Wellingraba, and we would love to hear his story. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the program.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi. Okay.
As usual, we ask people to share with us their childhood memories. Where were they born and brought up, and what has childhood been like for them before we go into other things?
Yes, you're right. Born and brought up in Wellingaraba in 1953, because those are the years that we can take. Usually before colonial days, even if you are over 15, they take you to school entry as age. They give you a certain age. So from 1953, I was enrolled in school. So I was born in Wellingaraba with that date. Yeah, and brought up there.
It's where you brought up. How has childhood been like for you?
Well, Wellingaraba is now a big village. It used to be a small village, but now it's a big town. It's over 5,000 inhabitants. Yeah.
So you personally, how has your childhood been like? How do you express that?
My childhood and that of today is quite different. During our days, it used to be a small village, and there was no school around, so we had to travel up and down. Under there are so many opportunities that are available to children of nowadays were not available to us. But we had to go under struggle and had certain hardships up to date when now things are changed.
And you tell us also about your schooling.
Well, I started schooling. I went to school in 1962. But it wasn't my home place where I started. I started schooling at Kiang in 1962 and ended up going to Bureng in 1968. Lower basic school. From 1968, 69 I went to high school, then graduated in 1974. So now I am at home doing my own personal daily in and out.
So since you graduated, what were you engaged in? Did you go for further studies, or you went into something else?
After my graduation, I first started a job with a company that constructed the central bank, with a company called Balfabeti as a stock controller. I worked with them up to 2 years. Then I shifted to government side under livestock services, the Department of Livestock Services, where I worked until 1986. I took up voluntary retirement and based home.
So since 1986, you have been based at home.
Yeah, doing voluntary. I took voluntary retirement in 1986 and based our home, because the family was growing very fast, and the means of I had to put different means, go into business in order to be able to sustain the family. Yeah.
Thank you very much. We would also love to know, when did you first heard about Ahmadiyya? What was
Thank you very much.
the introduction?
My first experience in coming to Jamaat Ahmadiyya, it was 1968 when I was going to primary school, lower basic school in Bureng. A summoner was sent to me overnight as a dream, who had uniform, a male structure, but you cannot say whether it's a male or a female. But I know he had a man's might. He left all the way from Bureng when I was in my home. Then I was a schoolboy. He asked me that you are called by Ahmad, come and follow me. I followed him up to the eastern side of the place where I was summoned. There was a lake He told me, okay, now this is where to stop, where you are to stop, because I can no more go with you. This is my area. I can't go beyond this area. I told him, how would I be able to get the message from there? He told me, just follow the sound. Then I followed the sound, just like in a village, but the village that you don't know. I followed the sound until I found them on the main road. Some tents were there.
What sort of a sound was that?
It was in Breng.
The sound that you followed?
That's it.
The
The
sound.
sound was, come along, come to me, come to me. So the man told me, his jurisdiction is just from the lake up to few meters, is where his jurisdiction was. He cannot pass there. Now let me follow the sound, come. So when I followed the sound up to some time, then I was a young boy, I found some tents, small inhabitants, small structures that the people use to stay with, tents. When I reached the tents, I said, well, who is calling me? Then I was pointed to the man. The man who was calling me, called Ahmad, was just leaning against a wall. Then there was, surrounded by people, first row, second row, third row, they were all sitting down. The rest were standing. So he had to say, come. When I came, until I was about to reach, he said, come. I wanted to get in, but I could not get in. If I want to pass through, elders would just try to refuse. If I want to pass, a small boy passing through elders, he would say, no. If I want to pass, okay, stay there where you are. Then he was giving a sermon, preaching to people. The first 3 rows were all sitting down, and he was leaning against the wall, facing the east. Then I was there up to a time. I got up. The following day, I told my Arabic teacher. He said, but don't tell anybody. I said, you are the first one I have told. So it's no need. Once I told you, I have to inform people. But I couldn't get where the access to join. Until after 1969, I went to Armitage. On my way in 1971, I saw a leaflet as I was passing by, going to the town. We were going into the town for just strolling. I saw a pamphlet. I read it, I said, it seems as if it's the people that I had the dream of. But where can I get them? But as a student, I cannot. And when I graduated also, I went to Banjul. One day I was passing through Lancaster, I saw a small mosque. I said, these are the people I dreamt of. But then I was new in Banjul. How can I get them? After 2 years, I couldn't get them. I had to leave Banjul, come to the provinces. Then in I think during Tariq's time, the first day they came to Wellingaraba, I was called by the alkali that go and answer to these people who are here. They have come for a mission. I said, when I went there, after narrating, he was there with Ansumana Sanyang and Tariq plus some other. I said, these are the very people I dreamed when I was going to school. So that's the day I signed the bayat with them. That very point, I told them, these are the people I have been looking for. I couldn't get them in Armitage. I couldn't get them in Banjul, but these are the exact people. So this is how I joined the Jamaat. From that day, I took bayat from Tariq.
So you explained that you saw someone telling you are to answer to another person.
That's it.
Another person whose name is Ahmad.
Yes.
But did you later on see that Ahmad? You saw him in your dream, but later on, did you recognize him maybe through photos or pictures?
The Ahmad I saw was a brown in color, not an English man. And the moment I saw Tariq preaching, then I said, this is the color I saw exactly. Later on, when I saw the picture, I said, aha, he has now grown up to be, because it was in 68. Fine, then I was a small boy. But I was still maintaining that dream in me. The brown color he was, and how he was. He wasn't that tall somebody, a medium-sized somebody. So the moment I saw Tariq, I said, this is exactly, I told the alkali, whether you accept, you don't accept, I have today seen what I have been looking for. So that's the day exactly I joined.
So since you joined the Ahmadi Muslim Jamaat, maybe you tell us, before you became a Jamaat member,
Yes.
so many people will tell us maybe they were engaged in certain things that they did not understand was not part of Islam. But when they became Jamaat members, they try to do away with all those sort of things.
Well, before I became a Jamaat member, really, there are so many things, hearsays and gossip that people used to say, then even towards the Jamaat itself. They were saying so many things. But the moment I became a Jamaat member and realized that all they were saying was a hearsay, not exactly things that was happening. Because all according to what they are saying is either from the Quran, from the Hadith, and if you violate those two, you are nowhere. So this is exactly. Then I was bitter and lonely in the family. I had to face different challenges. But to that, I said no problem.
Before we go into the challenges, you tell us the difference in your life prior to Ahmadiyyat and after becoming an Ahmadi.
Well, before I become an Ahmadiyya, I was a man of that who used to have so many, let's say, mini gods, jujus, and so on, and so many things, and so many certain things that I used to go in before I become a Jamaat member. I used to be involved in so many occasions, really. Some were to my betterment, so most of them, but 3 out of 5 would be to my losses, suddenly.
But when you became a Jamaat member, did that change?
Alhamdulillah, I had to put away, when I became a Jamaat member, I had to put away most of the practices that I have been doing in some of the things. And started to realize what are the do's and don'ts of anything that you are to follow. If you don't follow the principles exactly, so it means you are just doing it for your own sake. But if the Quran says and the Holy Prophet says, I think that's the end of everything. Even though we are not that much learned, we are just picking it small. But as you go through, once you join the Jamaat, the smallest pamphlet that you may get across, if you don't mind, that small pamphlet only will send you a long way. It will send your mind to say, all the while I have been doing things, whether they were good or bad, but I have been doing. But now that you are seeing as you go on exactly what is happening, that will tell you really, you have to change yourself. And automatically you must change.
So now you tell us the challenges that you have gone through. Maybe you take them one after the other.
Well, my first challenge was when I entered the Jamaat. Someone will tell me, you will not get a wife. I said, but people are dying without wives, number one. We will not give you any help if you need. I said, if I cry for you, may help. If I don't cry for, don't mind. In fact, there are certain occasions whereby I was promised to marry certain people, but when they realized that I was an Ahmadi, I had to go under questions to say, if you don't leave the Jamaat, you will never marry. I said, okay, then you return your daughters. I'll also never change my mind. And those who were my friends, after I joined the Jamaat, most of them became different wives. In fact, there was even not, I think, a year or even maybe 2 or even 3, where our farming places was given to other people, not because we should not have farms, but let's encounter some difficulties. It's where then, seeing such challenges, we had to clear a different virgin land, whereby we don't mind whether I die or I don't die, because mostly if you clear an evil forest, they will tell you, hey, you will die soon. So, but the farms that we were using before, after I joined, most of the farms, if you go again to say, I'll farm there, they will say, no, you cannot farm here because somebody has come in before you. So these are the challenges. In any corner, in any side, anywhere you activity you go to, where you used to laugh with people and dance. But if you challenge, if you face them, they tell no. Well, somebody has come in before you. So these are very hard challenges, in fact.
How did you survive at the moment? Because people still now in the Gambia mostly depend on agriculture.
Well, seeing such challenges, I had to take authority from somewhere, from the village alcalis, and see a virgin land, which to them was taboo, because anybody who, according to them, if you cultivate forest places, devils will come there and you will suddenly die. So I had to volunteer. I said, okay, if I die for for the sake of my family, but I have to clear this certain forest. This is where I presently have my own farm. So I went into that to cut everything. It was terrible to cut everything until now. Is the land I have for myself.
But the one you had prior has never been returned to you.
No, those are once I became an Amadi, there are no more farms that belong to the family, because they would say, before you become an Amadi, you are a family member, but once you become an Amadi, you are no more a family member. So what they do, they push you to places that are not good, that they know it's really, it's not a fertile land, so you can't farm there. Seeing that, I have to dress up and clear my own land and survive there with me and my family.
But those lands, are they fertile?
How could?
That ones you cleared.
The ones I'm using are fertile, and they have been existing for a long time as forests, whereby trees would fall down, get rotten and so on. So if you clear it with proper management, they can serve you for a long time. And those are the ones I've been serving almost up to 30 something years now. Yeah.
Thank you very much. If you have faced some other challenges, you can tell us about them.
Well, my home was ever full of challenges. Once that was a case when I had my child who passed away. Elders came in to pay condolence, and I told them, where is it going to be buried? They said, no, it's a small child, so it can just be buried in your compound. Then I knew, because at that point, I hadn't got many children who would resist if I say something. So I had to put that at the backyard. But within that period, what they told me after that is had it been that it was an elderly person or a mature somebody who died in your compound, you would have suffered today, because the whole community would not have come to assist you. So see how paining that is. I said, if that is what brought you in here, I told you, if it is because of wealth that you have for me to leave the Jamaat, I will never. Position, I will never. But I wish I had died with my whole family and you leave us behind here to get rot. Who will suffer? Is it we, the dead people, or you, the living people? But that day was also a different day, because I went to the extent of even to fight some of them. The whole village. We were over 20-something elders who said that from their imam, whom they said, had it been an elderly person, they would just leave us like that. I said, I wish me and my family are all dead today, and you leave us here to see. It was very harassing, very, very, very troubling. So from there, even my own brother they had to split him. I said, okay, if you want to leave your own compound, go ahead. All my other relatives, if you want to, because they were fearing of the people's CSA. I said, if you want, I'm living here. Even if death comes and meet me here, I would stay. But difficulties will never move me from this place. And it's the compound I'm staying up to now. But all the rest, we have over 4 or 5 compounds that have left the compound because of what they were seeing. There are certain challenges, if I tell you, will not be worth mentioning, but people will come overnight, dig at my door side, entrance, put something there. If somebody tells me, I tell, okay, leave it there.
Put some jujus?
Jujus, I'm telling you. Even here at my own place. I was one time in my own room, hearing somebody digging. I just went. In the morning, I didn't even get up early until my wife got up. She was sweeping. He saw it. I said, yes. I told her the time they were doing it, I was even not sleeping. But what they are doing it for, it will never prevail. So I had to. Even with the little occupation I have been doing, they reported me to so many places just to hinder me. But I said, that will never. I have never prayed for anybody to suffer the consequences I faced. But still I am, as they are growing like a tree, as they are coming in more and more, that's how I'm coming up. Up to date, somebody who did voluntary retirement from 86. And he's today with a family of not less than 30. But I've never knocked at anybody's door to say, help or this and that. Everything depends on God. Even there was a time when I had my own certificate at the pharmacy, but that was seized by me from the former regime. When I went to renew, I was told that it is late, you will never. But thank God, being an Ahmadi, I have to take patience. I said to that individual that I would pray for you because you are looking for promotion. I will pray for you whenever you become a minister. 3 months, just less than 3 months, that individual became a minister and called me. I said, no, I'm not going to answer. If I answer to you, it means you will put me in a different position whereby tomorrow I'll face it a different thing. I'm not the cause of that. I just said if you become a minister, I will pray for you. But you rejected. Now, if you had wanted me to come over, you would send me the certificate. That's your license. But because you are promoted, this is where you want me to go. And see, and you will take me as a demigod. Because you will say, I have done something for you. So I said, I will never go. Until that somebody, now that government is gone. But I cannot tell you. There was even at one time, even my working place was attacked. Myself, I was attacked in my own house. The attachment.
By the villagers?
Wellingaraba. The time when, I think some few years ago, people are saying the bandits went into Wellingaraba. It was for my purpose. Somebody went up to my house to pull the door, but it was locked. I waited up to 1 o'clock. I said, but I must go to Banjul. I have a mission there. It was God's grace. That night, I was attacked. They're saying bandits came to Wellingaraba, not because of Wellingaraba, but because of me. But all those who were within that plan are gone, and I'm still there. Alhamdulillah. And until tomorrow, even today, if I tell you there is something going on there, but this is it. Once you join the Jamaat, you can never rest. But if you don't have the strong belief, you will give up. you will give up. So you see, it's not easy to become an Ahmadi because it means sacrifice. You have to leave whatever is your pleasure, and whatever is not wanted, put it aside. And the society now yearns for how can I get more? How can I be on top of the story building? Those days are out. You see? So it's difficult.
So you tell us, you have narrated a lot of difficulties you have gone through and your family.
Yeah.
But sometimes if people go through that, they give up and they are afraid and then they give up. Why didn't you give up?
Mr. Mana, whereby the whole village came to a point whereby to attend the funeral of your child. And they pronounced strongly that if you don't join us, we'll never. I told them if it is because of position, I would never. Because of wealth, I would never. What I'm saying is, then before I joined the Jamaat, I am there. But today I would rather die than leave the Jamaat. Whatever help one may have for me, then, if you hide it away, I'm not the provider. It's the Almighty who is the provider. And up to date, up to tomorrow morning. Yesterday I was laughing. I said, I have exhausted everything, but how is it? Now, before sunrise, in fact, a friend of mine found me there saying, hey, today but I don't go to anybody. So just all of a sudden, something came in. So this is the world. If you give up, it means you are losing. In fact, I have some of my children who are not Ahmadis. With all the promises, I said, even if you will take me to double Mecca, I have seen Mecca once, finished. I have nowhere to go to. If you are doing it for that purpose, leave it. If you are giving me something to leave the Jamaat, leave it. When I was coming to this world, I came with not a single cloth. But today I'm able to man a family of 30-something. Where is my farm? The small I farm is very little. I'm not a civil servant. Where I was depending on as a pharmacist, that has been blocked and seized. So now we are just there with the help of God, and God will ever provide. He has enough to provide, and it will never be exhausted. So this is the situation where, even up now.
So maybe some of our viewers will be interested in your views on them. Let's say, for example, maybe as an advice to those who have not joined Ahmadiyya. What would you tell them? And those who are persecuting others who have joined Ahmadiyya?
Well, number one, I would start with those who are prosecuting Ahmadis. If they cannot stop it, let them limit. My advice to them is to stop it. This world is too short and we are all interrelated. If you hit one from here, the next village, somebody would hit you because of the blood relationship. The country is too small. So that hatred within us should be put off. But again, my advice to those who are not yet gone into this, once you call yourself an Ahmadi member, ready to die and sacrifice, work for Allah. If not, whatever, they would either bribe you in wealth or position. Because whatever stage you may think of, I have gone under through, but God has helped me to violate all that. So you have to be determined. That whatever comes upon you, good or bad, must be from Allah. If today you lack cost of $10, don't go on begging. Beg, it will come. I'm telling you, you beg, it will come.
You beg Allah.
Yes, you beg him. Saudi industry does not give you. Pray, perform, pray, and you, because I have been doing it. I have, any difficulties I go into, I have never consulted anybody. There is no Marabu who can make anything. There is nobody who can make anything except the Almighty. Perform and pray, give it. He has enough that he can give. So, but determination. Halfway you will never cross. Halfway, if you fear hardship, you will never be able to be a proper German member. Because those who used to come to you with laughing faces, shining faces, will be the first people to put you off on the line, as I am now. I have no friend. You go to the whole village, they tell you, he says anybody, he says, okay, he greets anybody, but he doesn't go to anybody to say, help me this or help me that. I don't do it. If they have, they won't give. So why worrying myself? Get the determination, control yourself, and know what to do. Advise your family members. But to be like how others are like, you can be, it could be a verbal talk. But to accept it, the Jamaat, Mr. There are so many places who were Jamaat members, but they are gone back. Because of what? Fearing the community behind. Fearing the community behind. So you don't fear Allah, you are fearing the community because of what the little that you are getting from them, or the support that you are getting from them. This is why, not fearing Allah. But if you fear Allah, you will never fear anybody.
Thank you very much. I think this is all time allowed us.
Right.
Inshallah, we would love to hear some more stories from you, but it will be when we come to your village at some point. So,
thank you.
Viewers, this is all time allowed us, and we have heard the story of Musa Sabally, and I hope it served as an inspiration for us, the Ahmadis, and as well as those who are not Ahmadis. So from us, MT International Gambia Studios, we say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Rasulullah